how can food trigger emotions? Emotions are so innate and part of our nature. And as we often suppress our emotions, they become part of our memory. And eating is a sensory experience. And our senses often sort of bring us back to a memory. And that memory brings up that emotion that is often unresolved, and that can be a good emotion or a bad emotion, because the idea of being in balance in your center is to actually go beyond any form of emotions and to be in stillness. So the attraction to different foods reflects our emotions and our body's pH. As you know, part of our pH level is like to have an alkaline acid balance. When we're attracted to acid foods, we have acid emotions that are perhaps not necessarily being lived on a conscious level, but even on a subconscious level. So you might be feeling like, hey, I feel okay, I feel good today, it's all good. But deep down, there's something imbalanced, and that imbalance comes out in your food choices, it comes out in the way you react, it even comes out in your dreams. When we choose acid foods, we're choosing anger, anxiety, fear, disgust. And when we choose alkaline foods, we're choosing joy, happiness, curiosity, surprise. So yeah, it's really a journey, and knowing that, you could really observe yourself and where you're going with your food choices or with your dreams. But it's interesting because with our food choices, we understand physically where we're at as well as emotionally. So allowing your body to be the guide is something very beautiful, because it creates an inner union. So when you're eating acidic foods such as meat, as an example, the body becomes inflamed. This can be, again, on a very light level or on a mid-level or a major level. But when we have suppressed emotions and acid foods, our tissues begin to swell. And examples of this are water retention or bloating. And when we spend a lot of time digesting, for instance, when you're choosing meat, it takes for a healthy gut, it takes between 8 and 12 hours to digest meat. This is quite taxing on the body. So all your energy is focused on digesting, so you don't really have time to deal with your nervous system and your emotions. Therefore, it's great to keep the body light rather than insist on fullness, which creates a heaviness, both physically and emotionally, and beyond that, mentally. So when you're shifting your body's pH from acid to alkaline, for example, you're also shifting your emotions. And in this process of shifting your emotions, you can choose to also release them. So it's like a purging that takes place, and that can be very cathartic. I've personally experienced that. I went on a water fast journey a few months ago, and my liver, in Chinese medicine, the organs correlate to a different emotion. So for instance, the liver corresponds to anger, the kidneys correspond to fear, the lungs to sadness, the heart to joy or depression. And during this process of purging, the liver is very taxed during a water fast. And I felt all these emotions were releasing. And it was absolutely cathartic. And after a few days of not feeling great, I was very re-energized, because I was able to confront and release something that was somewhere suppressed on a cellular level. So allow your body to be the guide. It's really a powerful process when you become one with your body and you observe the sensations that you're experiencing on a physical level, it creates a state of consciousness that is beyond like, why me, or like, why is this always happening, and sort of this blame that you try to find either with yourself or with the external world. And instead you realize that the solution is inside of you. It cannot come through binge eating, as an example. It cannot come by restricting your food, and it cannot come through medicines or supplements. So what do you do when you feel acid emotions such as anger, anxiety, sadness, fear? My tip would be choose alkaline. Choose alkaline foods such as fruits that are raw, organic or biodynamically grown in rich, diverse soils. Or you could even choose to fast. Do a fruit fast or do a juice fast. All of these, they heal you on a cellular level. And when you're physically healing, then energetically and emotionally you begin to heal. It's all interconnected. Good and bad emotions come to challenge our stability. We haven't reached a point yet of finding balance, but we're becoming more conscious and stronger every day when we choose to observe ourselves and to witness our process, with all its waves of ups and downs. Consumption as a whole can't lead us to happiness, but facing our emotions and releasing them does.